Hello. So I have made this video to explain about RECE or APS visa. And this is particularly for all the non-EU students who have studied in France, especially if they have done their master's or equivalent degree from France and they want to apply for a post-study job search visa. So this video is all about that. Step-by-step guide on how one can easily apply for this visa on their own without any help of any external agency. So, so the main reason I made this video is because I see a lot of my friends and also a lot of people on the internet are confused about the eligibility of this visa. As to who is eligible to exactly apply for this visa is a bit confused for a lot of people. So I want to help them remove this confusion. Another main reason is most of the people see a lot of visa rejections because they choose the wrong visa category while applying, and I want to help them eliminate that. And also, one of the other reason is that people take help of a lot of external visa immigration consulting agencies, but these agencies, of course, charge a lot of money to make this process possible. And I think this is a simple process. Anyone can do it on their own with a little bit of help, and I just want to do that. And the fourth most important point is that all the information about this visa is scattered all around the internet, because if you see on the Facebook groups or also certain internet blogs, a lot of information is outdated. It is not updated as per 2026, and a lot of new rules have been come into place, including the name of the visa. So I just want to consolidate all the right information in one place so that anyone who wants to apply for this visa can do it on their own, just sitting at their home. So in this video, I'm going to cover a few aspects. Firstly, what exactly is the APS visa? Secondly, who is eligible? How is the appointment process or application process going to be? What are the necessary documents that you need to apply for this visa? Also, certain specific rules are there, which if you follow, the visa rejection rate drops significantly, and also the expected timeline as to when someone can expect the visa to be processed and actually uh, plan to go to France. A small disclaimer about this video that I have gathered all this information through all the official sources, and I have tried to consolidate to in one place as much as possible. All the links required in this video are available in the description box below. You can go and check it out anytime. So let's begin. APS stand for Autorisation Provisoire de Séjour, and RE stands for Recherche d'Emploi ou Création d'Entreprise. And this is a post-study uh, job search visa for all the master's graduate who have done their education in France. And there are certain features of this visa which are very important for students to search for a job and do a career in France. The first and foremost thing is that this visa allows you to search for a job across France. Unlike any of the tourist visa or any of the alumni visa that you get, this visa allows you to search for a full-time job. Also, this visa allows you to work in France for approximately 964 hours annually. That amounts to approximately 20 hours a week. You can call it a part-time job, or certain people also use this to get a limited contract for 6 months, and that's how they utilize the 964 hours. Third most important benefit of this visa is that you are eligible to start your own company. You can launch your own venture in France, and it has to be related to your field, of course. And the most important benefit that one can look for after getting this visa is once you find a job in France, without leaving France, you have the eligibility to convert your visa status from APS to a regular work permit and continue to work in that company if you get hired in France, of course. And last but not the least, of course, you can travel throughout the Schengen area without any restrictions. Most of the countries, almost all of them, are eligible to get a 1 year post-study job search visa in France if you have done master's or higher from France. But there is a special catch for Indian students because France has a special bilateral agreement with India, and Indian students have the eligibility to renew this visa one more time. So let's see who is eligible for this APS visa. Like I said, anyone who has done master's or equivalent degree and higher in the field of engineering or sciences or anything, any specialized licensed professionals where their license is recognized by RNCP are eligible. The people who have done their bachelor's do not qualify for this visa, and also people who have been doing their masters or higher degrees from unrecognized institutions are also not eligible. Also, if you are doing some kind of distance learning, again, you are not eligible. So this visa can be applied both from in within France and also from your home country. This video is particularly for people who want to apply for APS visa from their home country if you leave France before your student visa expires. One more thing, you should not have applied for APS when you were student back in France. This is also a red flag and can be a very big reason for your rejection of getting this visa. So now I'm going to discuss the complete visa application process for any international student who wishes to apply for this visa from their home country. Firstly, you need to check your situation. Are you eligible? What kind of documents are required? I have given a link in the description. Please follow this official link only to check your situation, whether you need a visa. I'll just walk you through the process of how you can do that. Now, as you can see, once you go to this website, here you have to select your nationality. Just for example, I'll select my nationality, that is Indian. Approximately, you can put your age, put your married status, whether you have a close relative in EU, you have to select that. You have to select the current place of residence, then the type of visa. It must be long stay. The main destination of stay has to be France. Secondly, your travel document, that is your passport. Then, this is very important. There are certain exclusions. Make sure you are not eligible for these exclusion. And while selecting the category, please do select business. And the subcategory has to be job search slash business creation. This is going to make a lot of difference, and this is the step which will tell you if you are eligible to get a visa. If you are, what are the documents, what are the prerequisites necessary for you to be able to apply for this visa. And then we turn on to visa application. When you go to the link in the description, you have to create an account. If you do not have an account, if you already have an account, you have to log in, create a new application. You can select the language of your choice. You can create a new application, select your nationality, make sure that you select the right country. The place of submission has to be the embassy nearest to your current place of residence. The type of visa requested is very important. And like we discussed, it has to be a long stay. And the main destination of stay, of course, has to be France. Then you select the city of submission. Please do select the nearest city to your current residence. Then you can select your plans. While selecting your plans, it is very important that you select the right category. And like we discussed earlier, it has to be the main category has to be business, and the subcategory has to be job search slash business creation. EU nationals or citizens from certain countries have different rules, and there is a separate video for them. Once you confirm all the details, which cannot be changed for a particular application, you have to then fill out your personal details. That includes your marital status. Your last name has to be as per the passport. I repeat, it has to be exactly as per the passport. Make sure your first name also has to be exactly as per your passport. Then fill out your personal details like your date of birth, your place of birth. Here, the national identity number is not necessary, it is not mandatory, so you can leave it just blank. Your current address has to be an address belonging to your origin country. Make sure you fill out all the details. And while filling out the telephone number, uh, since you know for India, for example, the code is +91. Here you have to just add 0091. In case of plus, you just add 00 and the country code as it is before you write your actual mobile number. Then, of course, you write your personal email address for correspondence and make sure all the details of your passport and your personal identity are true to the best of your knowledge. So, in case of current job, if you are a business owner, please do select a company director or a proprietor. If you are an employee at another organization, please do select your respective designation at your current organization. Then you can select the sector. Sector here defines the nature of business that your current organization does. Then the details of your employer and the address, the official address of your employer has to be there. Make sure if you are a working professional, it is as per your offer letter, because that you may have to join it during the documentation. And the same thing goes for telephone number and the official email address. Then what you have to do is very important. Since you are applying for a post-study job search visa, that means you have stayed in France before when you were a student, right? So now you have to clearly mention the details of your stay when you were a student. Make sure all the details were exactly as per your immigration and immigration stamps on your passport, because that is very important, that the stamp date on your passport and the date which you fill over here has to be exactly the same. Many times students confuse this date with their intended date of travel when they were student, and that leads to visa rejection. So make sure your date of stay has to be the date when you entered France, not the start date of your visa. And end date, of course, has to be the day when you left France, not the end date of your visa. If as a student you traveled multiple times, make sure you add all these periods accordingly and exactly as per the immigration and immigration stamps on your passport. Then the details of your stay are very important. your intended date of arrival in French territory. Of course, it has to be before the completion of 4 years of your degree, right? And also, while selecting the number of months of stay, make sure you select more than 1 year. Even if you plan to stay less than that, do select more than 1 year. And the Visa Pro number, just leave it blank. This is for the people who want to create a business and then go. So you have to first register and then add that validation number over here. That is a completely different process. So we'll discuss it in another video. Now, your tentative plans of stay. Here, you can select my hotel or a place of accommodation if you are going to plan it on your own. If you have a relative, you can select a person will be accommodating me, but then you have to get a certificat de hébergement from that person who is residing in France, and that is a completely different process altogether. So just select my hotel or the accommodation of your choice, although you don't have to provide the accommodation details at the time. This is just a tentative information for the French authorities to know how you're planning to have a stay in France. And of course, the means of subsistence. Make sure you select cash or self savings, because if you select another guarantor, then you have to give documentation of that person as well. All the financial documentation, uh, all the bank statements, all the ITR returns of your guarantor will be required as well. So make sure if you are a working professional or a self-employed person or a business owner, make sure you select cash and your own savings. Here, the email address is of the accommodation. So if you are planning to get an Airbnb, then it has to be the email ID of your host. If it is a hotel, email ID, official email ID of that hotel. In the end, you will get the tentative approximation of the documents required, and voila, your application is ready. This application number is very important while you select the appointment. So once you do that, you can select and continue, and the application will be finalized. Now that you have filled the visa application, now it's time to take an appointment at VFS Global. See, French embassy has outsourced their administration to a lot of different companies. In India and in most of the countries, it is VFS Global. So I have attached the official link for you to book an appointment. Once you go to the link, please do select that you have already filled the application form on the official France Visas website and you accept to book an appointment in India. And you can do the same for your respective country, but the process is the same. This is just an example that I'm giving for application in India. If you do not have an account, make sure you create an account. If you have an account, make sure that you log into that account. So once you create an account and log in, you can start a new booking. You choose your application center. Make sure you choose the nearest application center or the one which is convenient for you to travel to. For example, I have chosen Mumbai. Then, while choosing your appointment category, it is very crucial that you do not select the long stay campus France student visa category. You just have to select the regular default France India category. And in subcategory, it has to be business. Even though the visa subcategory is job search slash business creation, in your visa application on VFS Global, it has to be only business. Then you put in the France visa's registration number, the one which I showed you earlier, and proceed accordingly. In the end, in the services section, do make sure that you select the courier service, because even if you do not select it right now and tell the VFS authorities that you will be collecting the passport on your own, it is not allowed. So make sure you select the courier service firsthand. Of course, the visa fees will be separate. Visa fees you have to pay once you go in person at the VFS Global. But the visa administration service fee, which the VFS Global charges for making this process smoother, and the courier fee to send your visa back to you, you can pay it online while booking the appointment, like I showed you. Now that you know how you can check your situation, how you can complete your visa application on your own, and how you can book your VFS Global appointment on your own, the final job is to attend the VFS appointment in person, do the document submission and the biometrics, and finally, your visa is going to be issued. There is one more rule that once you receive a visa, you have to get it validated in France via the OFI process within 90 days of your arrival. What exactly happens on your VFS appointment date? Of course, you go, you pass through the security check-in, and you report 15 minutes before your appointment date and time. And they'll initially send you to holding area number one, where the name, time, and date on passport and your appointment receipt are verified, and you are sent to holding area number two, where an official token is assigned to you. And once you are queued, then you go to the counter with the visa agent of VFS, and you submit all the documents, and they will create a file which is to be sent to the French embassy for visa processing. In the end, you just pay the visa fee and do the biometrics and done. This is the list of documents. You can, of course, take a screenshot. The official list of documents which is present on the website and also in the visa application is like so. But at VFS, there are certain additional documentation which is required, like a cover letter, an ITR, or the proof of income source, and copy of old passport if your previous student visa were issued on your previous passport. These are certain things that you need to be aware of, and make sure you keep all the originals ready, but none of the documents uh, have to be submitted in originals. All of them have to be photocopies, but you have to carry your originals along with you. But the original passport must be submitted at VFS Global, which you will get back once the visa is stamped on it. In the end, there are just a few tips that I want to make sure that everyone knows. And while showing the proof of funds, how much is the right amount of funds that you need to show in your bank account? That is approximately 7,500 euros. And also make sure that your travel insurance has a minimum coverage of at least 30,000 euros, and it has a repatriation clause that is mandatory, because in case of severe injuries, you must be able to be evacuated to your home country. And make sure that your travel insurance validity is 365 days, because in India, most of the insurers have insurance policies that are 360 days. This also can be one reason for your visa rejection. Of course, you already know the photos, standard photo sizes. You need to carry two photographs with you during the VFS in-person appointment. There's certain mistakes to avoid. Finally, I have covered almost all of them, but make sure you apply at least 1 month before your intended date of travel. You travel within 4 years of your issue of degree. Make sure that your stays match exactly as per your immigration and immigration stamps on your passport. Also, if you apply for a visa and do not travel to France and think that I'll be searching job from my home country, and if I get a job, I'll go there. If you stay in your home country for more than 181 days, your visa will be lapsed. To make sure you are in France after applying and validating this visa for at least 181 days. Okay. Also make sure while application, all the spellings are exactly as per your official documents, that is your ordinary passport. And you can take a screenshot of all this. Make sure that the reason you are stating in your cover letter must be convincing enough. And finally, this is my timeline. I just want to share with you that I applied for this APS visa, completed my application, and did my VFS Global appointment on 28th of April. I got the appointment for 12th of May. I visited the VFS Global Center on 12th of May. I submitted all the documents. The file was sent to the embassy and visa got stamped on 20th of May. And in one day, on 21st of May, I got my APS visa. Make sure that you take a screenshot of all this. Make sure that you use only the official links that I have posted in the description for all your applications. Do not trust any of the random blogs and comments on Facebook groups. Make sure you follow the official channels for your visa to be validated as soon as possible. And finally, if you like this video, please do like, comment, and share with your friends. Thank you. Thank you so much.